Welcome to the Arkship Angels Network, your escape pod to heaven on earth. The Arkship Angels Network was born out of a desire to support the New Earth Angels, the Lightworkers, the Wayseers, and the Starseeds. It was created for those who are just waking up and for those who have awakened and are now discovering that they too have a divine mission of their own and are now feeling the call to step into their roles to serve humanity in support of our Mother Gaia. Our mission is to assist humanity on their ascension journey home, to bring forth the new earth teachings necessary to allow all beings who reside here on earth the ability to transition and integrate their souls and transcend all limiting belief systems that have led to holding us captive in a world of lack, fear and struggle. The Arkship Angels are directly connected to the 144 that relate to the prophecy of the 144,000 original souls that are mentioned in the Bible in the book of Revelations. In the prophecy, it reveals that 144,000 lightworkers, ascended masters, will return to earth, all incarnating together at the same time, with their sole mission being to help heal, bring reason to, and liberate humanity from the darkness and manipulative powers that have been doing everything in their power to keep humanity enslaved in fear and asleep. The role of those who are or have become aware that they are descendants of the original 144,000 lightworkers and ascended masters is to evolve to such a point that they can see through the veil of illusion that blankets their physical reality and dispel it in order to pave a way forward and lead humanity into a new era of peace and prosperity. These beautiful souls chose to return to earth to guide us, support us, and remind us of who we really are on our return journey home to heaven here on earth. Just like the Ark ship that Noah built from the stories we have been taught from children in the Bible, most often remembered for his appearance in the book of Genesis. Together, we, the Earth Angels, like Noah, are bringing forth messages and new teachings from our soul families in the stars, from our ancestors who once resided here on earth many lifetimes ago, and from our soul families who reside in our inner earth, who work together with our animals, elementals, and Mother Gaia herself. The new earth is our Noah's Ark. The new earth is here right now, awaiting your arrival. But in order to move into this fifth dimensional reality, you must resonate and match the frequency that she is currently vibrating at. The new earth vibrates at a much higher frequency than the third dimensional earth we reside on right now. So for you to move into this frequency, your energy must resonate at the same frequency or higher. A good example of what this frequency or high vibration would feel like would be to recall a time in your life when you were the giver or receiver of unconditional love, compassion or forgiveness. Can you remember a time where you felt accepted, validated or acknowledged? That feeling you experienced when you felt connected to friends or loved ones or a group. Do you remember how it felt to be recognized for your worth? These feelings, when felt in our body, make us feel good. They make us feel worthy, loved and accepted. These emotions, when felt, resonate with high vibratory energy and are a perfect match to bring you into the vibration of the new earth. You cannot move into the new earth if you hold dense, negative, low vibrational energy within your mind, body or soul. You literally cannot exist within an environment that vibrates at such a high frequency. The new earth is in its infancy and building every day. and all who reside here on earth at this time have an opportunity to awaken to their divine missions, to awaken to their divine gifts that will enable them to contribute to the creation of heaven on earth. There are already many of us who have awakened to our truth that has been held deep within the core of our being, our heart, our soul. That truth that there really is a heaven and it's here on earth, and we are here to be rebirthed so we can help build it out. The new earth is a planet of love and peace where fear can no longer exist. Imagine living a life without fear, where there is no war or famine, where there is enough for everyone, where no one is better than another or lesser than another, where we all remember that we carry a piece of God within us, where we all know that when we come together, we become one. Our new earth is awaiting new free energy technologies, new government systems, new schooling and education systems, new ways of doing business, new food technologies, new environmental cleanup technologies, and so much more. You are the future of our new earth. Many of these new technologies are up and running, but we are waiting for more of you to come online to awaken to your mission and bring forth the new knowledge that will enable us to bring all these amazing technologies into the mainstream for all to benefit. Imagine free energy and clean water being made available worldwide, and how this would contribute to a massive shift in our planet's consciousness. Our Earth Angels are waking up to their missions every day, and with their help together we can help you wake up to your mission too. These beautiful brave souls, our Earth Angels, are the starseeds, the light workers, and the way showers. They found the courage to step up to their mission, and I thank every single one of them, for I now have found the courage to share my messages to the world and fulfill my mission too, to contribute by supporting to the expansion of our beloved heaven on earth through sharing my and others' ascension experiences and new earth teachings gifted to us through our growth, transformation, and reconnection to Source. As an Earth Angel myself, I invite you to become one of us, to find the courage to acknowledge your pain, to listen to our messages and find your own path to heal your broken heart, to forgive all those who contributed to your pain, and experience what it feels like to see your life from a higher perspective. When you go within and release all of your pain and all of your sadness, and let go of all your fears, your angers, your hurts and regrets, when you release and let go of all your guilt, all your abandonments and betrayals, and anything else that creates an imbalance in your life, magic happens. When you give yourself permission to release and let go all of that that brings you dis-ease in your mind and body, you free the soul to guide you in creating the life you prefer. You will experience seeing through the eyes of Jesus with love and compassion, as he did when he walked upon this earth in his time. Even as he hung from the cross, he was able to see beyond the mind and body. He could hear the truth being whispered to him through his soul. He came to understand that it was only their belief that they should fear him. It was their belief that overshadowed the light that he attempted to reflect upon those who resisted his messages. It was those that feared his light that had lost their way and were prevented from seeing the truth, that they too carried the same light within them. This knowing he acknowledged when he said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." When you can see through the eyes of Jesus, you are ready to step into your divine mission. For those who are waking up, or have awoken and have or are in the process of stepping into their missions, they have come to realize that they are no longer here to serve self, but to serve humanity. We, the woken ones, are very well aware that our missions play a crucial role in creating this new earth. We are the ground crew, here to support humanity and Gaia through an often turbulent journey as we move out of the darkness and into the light of truth. We are here to help all transition from this 3D matrix version of Earth to the new 5D Earth and beyond. Do you remember who you are? We all agreed to partake in this experiment, to come to planet Earth and play the game of life. We made this agreement within our soul groups and families before we were born, so we could experience and understand ourselves more deeply in a physical form. We came into this world with our memories wiped, so we could experience the deepest of pain and sorrow, as we believed that in the experiencing of this pain, we would awaken to remember who we really are, and in turn experience the love, joy, and compassion that can only be experienced when you know how it feels at its polar opposite. Sadly, many of us did not wake up and instead fell deeper and deeper into a negative-based energy body, becoming bound in physical form, and as a result, many lost their way with no return and totally disconnected from their light, their soul. Due to the many souls who lost their way, our planet Earth has been slowly destroyed through greed, power, and lack of respect of our Mother Gaia. We have lost our way as we have been led by the darkest of souls, and now it's time to take heed and remember the ancient teachings from our ancestors who are aspects of ourselves from previous incarnations. Through their teachings and the teachings being transmitted from our families in the stars, who are also aspects of us in our future, we who awaken and remember who we are, together with Mother Gaia's guidance and support, will deliver these teachings to the rest of humanity to align us all with the new earth. History is being rewritten as we move into the new earth. As we have all been brought up in a world driven by a fear and lack-based consciousness for thousands of years, history must be rewritten, as holding on to past traumatic memories is what holds us from uniting with our divine counterpart, our soul. This new information is changing humanity's perception of how we each view our world, and as a result is breaking down the walls that have held us captive for thousands of years. All light workers and star seeds are contributing greatly by injecting a little truth serum within their messages and transmissions every day, planting seeds of hope and change. By changing our perception of what we once knew to be true, we open ourselves up to receiving more truth, and through this process we are creating a whole new language, a language that talks directly to the soul. Within this new language, codes of awareness and remembrance are embedded and will be automatically received by those who need to hear the transmission. We are naturally drawn to certain light workers, starseeds and way showers through the vibration and frequency of their messages and transmissions. This vibration you feel is to let you know that you have arrived home, that you have reconnected to a member of your soul group, your family from the stars and beyond. As more and more awaken and come online, the more we will come together, collaborate, and build communities that will support the creation of our new earth. As we transition into the new earth, many will experience the feeling of being pulled in and out of both 3D and 5D realities, often finding themselves stuck right in the middle. This is due to the fact that many of our soul families have not yet awakened, and because they still run the old survival programs, it is easy to be triggered, and if you do not address these triggers right away, you will easily be pulled into the fear web once again. As we ascend into the new earth, communication will eventually become telepathic, but over the coming years, as we all transition, this new language I mentioned earlier, that is in its development stage, derived from pure love and compassion, will be our new form of communicating. This new language will resonate at a much higher frequency to match that of our new earth. This language will not appear any different to how we communicate now, except there will no longer be judgment or criticism toward another soul. Showing respect for yourself and your fellow beings will be of the highest order. If, when we are communicating with another, and we become aware that they are out of sorts, and you feel they are not resonating at their optimal frequency because they are reacting in a negative manner or have shown you disrespect, you will know because you feel as though they are outside of your frequency range, as though they have stepped out of your bubble. I have experienced this personally many times, where someone will be experiencing a stressful situation while I am still resonating at a high frequency. Over time, and as we raise our vibration, we begin to interpret their pain differently and no longer feel their pain within our own bodies like we used to as empaths, but rather we recognize where their pain comes from by seeing and feeling it from their perspective. It's like looking through a window into another timeline, like peering through the red curtain on a stage set into another world that you're quite separate from. In situations like this, I have often witnessed the person's face, who is in a reactionary response, morph into a younger version of themselves, and I know in that moment that this was the age where the root cause of their stress or anxiety came from. When you notice you yourself are being triggered by another's emotions or emotional outbursts, and are aware that it has nothing to do with you, you have an opportunity to offer a compassionate heart. So how will you communicate with someone who is in pain while transitioning between 3, 4 and 5D? Here Mannix, my higher aspect of myself, suggests how we might approach such a situation. He says that we can begin by simply acknowledging their pain, acknowledging their stress or their sorrow, acknowledging it on their behalf, as they are obviously not in a position yet to do so for themselves. You could do this by saying, "I'm so sorry for your pain," or "I'm so sorry for your loss," or "I'm so sorry you are so sad," or "I'm so sorry you feel this way." You might then mention that you were unaware of their suffering by saying something like, Please forgive me for not resonating with what you're going through. You know I am here for you." You can then share with them how much you love them and remind them of all the reasons why you love them. If they are angry or frustrated, then you know they are most likely feeling unappreciated or feel they are not being heard. So you might want to thank them for sharing their you might want to thank them for sharing how passionate they are about the situation they find themselves in. Or you might thank them for understanding why you chose to give them some space, as you could feel they needed time for introspection. Often by communicating this way, your friend, family member or work colleague may choose to open up to you because you have acknowledged their pain for them by stating that you are so sorry for how they are feeling. You have asked for forgiveness, which reminds them and reinforces their need to forgive themselves. You have shown them they are worthy of love by telling them how much you love them. And finally, you have thanked them just for being themselves, which encourages them to be proud of who they are. All necessary emotions needed in order to release that fear and lack from our being. As you can see, this method of communication is not one of judgment or denial, but one of love and compassion. One simply needs to be acknowledged, forgiven, and shown compassion so they can feel accepted. This is the language we will naturally adopt as we shift into our new earth. It is a language that will always promote peace. While we are all at different stages of ascension, learning to communicate in this way will speed up our soul's evolutionary journey, where we must learn to allow the integration of our mind, body and soul to become one in order to awaken us to the remembrance of who we are and what missions we signed up for. As more and more of us are being acknowledged for our worth in our communities, the more courage and confidence we develop in order to share our knowledge. The more we can forgive each other and ourselves, the more we are able to release and let go of our guilt, our hurt and sadness. The more compassion that we can express, the more humanity can experience unconditional love. The more unconditional love that is given and received, the more self-love, self-respect, and respect for others can be achieved. The more respect we have for ourselves, the more self-love and self-care can be adopted. The more we respect our own needs, the more others will learn to respect you and your needs. The more gratitude and thanks offered, the more we can all feel accepted. The more accepted humanity feels, the more connected we become. The more connected we are, the more we open our hearts. When all hearts are open, we become one. When we become one with Gaia. When we are one with Gaia, we are one with Source. When we are one with Source, we are in heaven on earth. Welcome home, my beautiful soul family. This transmission was presented to me by Mannix, who you might call my higher self, or that part of me that has a direct link to Source, God, the All That Is. The information received was then rewritten for all to understand from both my and my soul's perspective, which is connected to the perspective of our galactic family from the stars, our angels, archangels and ascended masters who watch over us and guide us. With love and light, we unite as one. Vibeke McCall, creator of the Arkship Angels network, your escape pod to heaven on earth.